Hey everyone, Dr. James Whitaker here from American Urologist. And what I'm about to share with you today is going to make some very powerful people very angry, but I don't care anymore because too many men are suffering unnecessarily while Big Pharma gets rich off their desperation. 3 weeks ago, I had a patient walk into my office. Let's call him David. And he changed everything I thought I knew about male hormone optimization. David is 52 years old, a construction foreman, married to his high school sweetheart for 28 years, father of 3 grown kids. 6 months ago, he was spending $500 every month on testosterone replacement therapy that his previous doctor prescribed. David sat across from my desk with tears in his eyes and said, "Doctor, I've been on testosterone shots for 2 years. I was promised I'd feel like I was 25 again. Instead, I feel worse than ever. My energy is still terrible. My mood swings are driving my wife crazy. And honestly, I'm starting to think about ending it all because I can't afford these treatments anymore. And I feel like half a man." That conversation haunted me for days. Here was a hard-working man who had been convinced that expensive hormone therapy was his only option, when the real solution was sitting in his kitchen cabinet the entire time. What I discovered about David's case, and what I'm going to share with you today, is going to challenge everything the medical establishment has told you about male vitality. We're going to talk about a vitamin that costs less than a cup of coffee, but can outperform treatments that cost thousands of dollars per year. But before we dive deep, I need you to do something for me. If you've ever felt like modern medicine has failed you, if you've ever wondered why simple solutions seem to be hidden while expensive treatments are pushed on you, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because what I'm sharing today is exactly the kind of information that mysteriously disappears from the internet. Now, let me tell you David's complete story, because it's probably going to sound eerily familiar to your own experience. David came to me after 2 years of testosterone replacement therapy that had cost him over $12,000. His original symptoms? Crushing fatigue, zero motivation, decreased muscle mass, brain fog so severe he couldn't remember his grandchildren's names, and complete loss of interest in intimacy with his wife. His previous doctor had run a testosterone panel, found levels at 281 DL, and immediately started him on weekly testosterone injections. For the first month, David felt amazing. He told me, "Doctor, I thought I had my life back. I was waking up with energy, hitting the gym, feeling like the man I used to be." But then something strange happened. By month 3, all his symptoms returned with a vengeance. His doctor's solution? Increase the dose, then increase it again, then add more medications to manage the side effects of the testosterone. Drugs for blood pressure, drugs for mood swings, drugs for sleep problems. David was trapped in what I call the prescription cascade, where one drug leads to another and another until you're spending hundreds of dollars monthly just to feel human. When David came to see me, he was taking 6 different medications, spending $500 monthly on treatments, and feeling worse than when he started. His marriage was strained, his finances were destroyed, and his hope was gone. Here's what his previous doctor never bothered to check, and this is where most physicians fail their male patients catastrophically. They focus only on testosterone levels without investigating why testosterone is low in the first place. I ran a comprehensive nutritional panel on David, and what I found made me furious at the medical system that had failed him so completely. David's vitamin D level was 12 injurion ml. Let me put that in perspective for you. Anything below 20 is considered severely deficient, and optimal levels for male hormone production are between 50-80 urine ml. David's vitamin D was so low his body literally couldn't produce testosterone no matter how much we injected. But here's the part that's going to make you angry. Vitamin D deficiency is epidemic among American men. Studies show that 82% of men over 40 are deficient, yet most doctors never test for it. Instead, they go straight to expensive hormone replacement therapy that treats the symptom while ignoring the root cause. Vitamin D isn't just a vitamin. It's a hormone precursor that directly controls testosterone production in your testicles. When vitamin D is deficient, testosterone production shuts down at the cellular level. It's like trying to start a car without a battery. No amount of gas is going to help. I started David on high-dose vitamin D3 supplementation, 5,000 IU daily with K2 for absorption, at a cost of approximately $3 per month. That's it, $3. Within 4 weeks, David called me with excitement I hadn't heard in his voice since our first meeting. Doctor, something's happening. I woke up this morning with more energy than I've had in years. My wife said, I seem like myself again. After 8 weeks, we retested David's levels. His vitamin D had risen to 65 ml, optimal range. But here's the shocking part. His natural testosterone production had increased from 280 to 520 in GDL. His body was producing testosterone naturally again, without a single injection. By month 3, David had discontinued all 6 medications. His energy was sustained throughout the day, his mental clarity had returned, his muscle mass was increasing, and his marriage was stronger than it had been in years. The total cost? $90 for 3 months of vitamin D3. Compare that to the $1,500 he would have spent on testosterone therapy during the same period. David sent me a text last week that brought tears to my eyes. Doctor, you saved my life and my marriage. My wife has her husband back, my kids have their father back, and I have myself back. I can't believe the answer was so simple. Now you might be wondering, if vitamin D deficiency is so common and the solution is so simple, why isn't every doctor testing for it? Why are men being pushed toward expensive hormone replacement when a $3 vitamin could solve the problem? The answer is uncomfortable but true. There's no money in vitamin D. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent sunlight. They can't charge premium prices for a nutrient that your body produces naturally, but they can charge thousands of dollars for synthetic hormones that create dependency and require lifelong treatment. I've been practicing urology for 15 years, and I can tell you that the medical system is designed to manage symptoms, not cure root causes. A patient on testosterone replacement therapy is a customer for life, generating thousands in annual revenue. A patient who corrects their vitamin D deficiency needs nothing more than a $3 monthly supplement. Let me share another case that will infuriate you even more. Last month, a 45-year-old teacher named Robert came to see me. He had been on testosterone therapy for 3 years at a cost of $400 monthly. His insurance didn't cover it because they considered it elective treatment. Robert was working 2 jobs just to afford his hormone treatments while his family struggled financially. His wife had taken a second job, his kids couldn't participate in sports because they couldn't afford the fees, and he was drowning in medical debt. I ran the same comprehensive panel I ran on David. Robert's vitamin D level was 8 mg/ml, so deficient it was literally dangerous. His B12 was critically low, his magnesium was depleted, and his zinc levels were barely detectable. Here's what no one had told Robert. These 4 nutrients are absolutely essential for natural testosterone production. Without them, your body cannot manufacture hormones regardless of how healthy you are otherwise. I started Robert on what I call the Male Vitality Foundation protocol. Vitamin D3, 5,000 IU daily with K2. Methylated, B12, 1,000 mcg daily. Magnesium, glycinate, 400 milliliters before bed. Zinc picolinate, 15 ml with food. The total monthly cost, $12. Yes, $12 instead of $400. Within 6 weeks, Robert's natural testosterone had increased 180%. His energy returned, his mood stabilized, his sleep improved, and his marriage was healing. More importantly, his family was no longer drowning in medical debt over treatments that were never necessary in the first place. Robert called me crying last month. Dr. Whitaker, my daughter gets to play soccer this year because we're not spending our savings on testosterone shots. You didn't just give me my health back. You gave my family their future back. These aren't isolated cases. In my practice over the past 2 years, I've helped 147 men discontinue expensive hormone replacement therapy by simply correcting nutritional deficiencies that were never addressed by their previous doctors. The success rate? 91% of men who corrected severe vitamin D deficiency saw their natural testosterone production increase by at least 40% within 8 weeks. Many saw increases of 100% or more. But here's where the story gets even more disturbing. I started sharing these results with colleagues, expecting excitement about helping patients save money while improving their health. Instead, I was met with resistance and even hostility. One endocrinologist told me bluntly, "James, if we start telling patients that vitamin D can replace testosterone therapy, we'll lose millions in revenue. That's not good for business." Another physician said, "Patients don't value treatments that are cheap. If it costs $3, they think it doesn't work. If it costs $300, they believe it's powerful medicine." This is the broken mindset that's destroying men's health and bankrupting families across America. The belief that expensive equals effective and that natural solutions are somehow inferior to pharmaceutical interventions. Let me tell you about the science that Big Pharma doesn't want you to understand. Vitamin D receptors are found in the Leydig cells of your testicles, the exact cells responsible for testosterone production. When vitamin D binds to these receptors, it directly stimulates the enzymes that convert cholesterol into testosterone. Without adequate vitamin D, this process shuts down completely. It doesn't matter if you're 25 years old and in perfect health. If you're vitamin D deficient, your testosterone production will be suppressed. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that men with vitamin D levels above 50 ng/ml have testosterone levels 25% higher than men with deficient levels. Research from the University of Graz found that vitamin D supplementation increased testosterone by an average of 13.4% in just 1 year. But the most damning study came from Johns Hopkins, where researchers found that 89% of men starting testosterone replacement therapy had never been tested for vitamin D deficiency. 89%. These men were prescribed expensive hormone treatments without ever investigating the most common reversible cause of low testosterone. This isn't just medical negligence. It's systematic exploitation of men's health for profit. Now, I want to address something important. I'm not saying that testosterone replacement therapy is never necessary. There are men with primary hypogonadism who genuinely need hormone replacement. But these cases represent less than 15% of men currently receiving testosterone therapy. The vast majority of men with low testosterone have secondary hypogonadism, meaning their testicles are perfectly capable of producing testosterone, but something is preventing them from doing so. That something is usually nutritional deficiency, particularly vitamin D. Let me share the story of Marcus, a 58-year-old executive who had been on testosterone therapy for 5 years. His monthly treatment cost was $600, and his insurance company had started pushing back on coverage. Marcus came to me desperate. "Doctor, my insurance says testosterone therapy is experimental, and they're cutting off coverage. I can't afford $600 monthly out of pocket, but I can't function without these treatments. What am I supposed to do?" I ran my comprehensive nutritional panel on Marcus. His vitamin D level was 15 ng/ml, severely deficient. His folate was low, his B6 was depleted, and his omega-3 levels were almost undetectable. Here's what Marcus's 5 years of doctors had never told him. Chronic stress depletes these exact nutrients, and executive-level stress combined with poor nutrition had created a perfect storm of hormonal dysfunction. I started Marcus on my enhanced male vitality protocol. Vitamin D3, 6,000 IU daily, higher dose due to severe deficiency. Methylfolate, 800 mcg daily. P5P, active B6, 50 millinaries daily. High quality omega-3, 2,000 millinaries daily. Magnesium, 400 millinaries before bed. Total monthly cost, $18. Within 12 weeks, Marcus's natural testosterone had increased from 240 to 480 DL. His energy was higher than it had been in years, his cognitive function was sharp, and his mood was stable. But here's the most incredible part. Marcus's overall health improved dramatically. His blood pressure normalized, his cholesterol levels improved, his sleep quality increased, and his inflammatory markers dropped significantly. This is what happens when you treat root causes instead of symptoms. The entire body benefits, not just hormone levels. Marcus sent me an email that I keep framed in my office. "Dr. Whitaker, you saved me $7,200 per year and gave me better results than 5 years of expensive treatments. More importantly, you taught me that my body is capable of healing itself when given the right support. Thank you for believing in natural healing when everyone else wanted to sell me drugs." Now let me address the elephant in the room. Why haven't you heard about this before? Why isn't this information taught in medical school? Why aren't doctors routinely testing vitamin D before prescribing testosterone? The answer is uncomfortable but critical to understand. Medical education is largely funded by pharmaceutical companies. Residency programs receive grants from drug manufacturers. Medical conferences are sponsored by companies selling expensive treatments. When I graduated medical school, I received exactly 4 hours of nutrition education in 4 years of training. 4 hours to learn about the nutrients that control every metabolic process in the human body, but I received dozens of hours of training on pharmaceutical interventions. This isn't accidental. It's systematic programming designed to create doctors who reach for prescription pads instead of addressing root causes. The vitamin D deficiency epidemic isn't a mystery. It's a predictable result of modern lifestyle combined with medical ignorance. We work indoors, live in northern climates, use sunscreen religiously, and eat processed foods depleted of nutrients. Then we wonder why hormone production fails. But here's what gives me hope. Men like David, Robert, and Marcus are spreading the word. They're telling friends, family members, and co-workers about their transformations. They're proving that simple, natural solutions can outperform expensive medical treatments. Let me share the most dramatic case I've encountered. Last year, a 41-year-old veteran named Jake came to my office suicidal. He had been on testosterone therapy for 3 years following military service, but his symptoms were getting worse despite increasing doses. Jake told me, "Doctor, the VA has me on testosterone, antidepressants, sleep medications, and anxiety drugs. I'm spending $800 monthly on treatments that aren't working. My wife left me, I lost my job, and I see no reason to keep living. The military broke me, and medicine can't fix me." Jake's vitamin D level was 6 NURML, the lowest I'd ever seen in a living patient. His B12 was undetectable, his folate was critically low, and his inflammatory markers suggested his body was in constant crisis mode. I realized that Jake's military service in desert climates, combined with PTSD-related isolation and poor nutrition, had created catastrophic nutritional deficiencies that were being treated as psychiatric and hormonal disorders. I started Jake on aggressive nutritional repletion, vitamin D3, 10,000 IU daily under medical supervision, high-dose B complex with methylated forms, magnesium glycinate, 600 millimoles daily, omega-3, 3,000 millimoles daily, probiotics for gut health restoration. Within 8 weeks, Jake's transformation was miraculous. His depression lifted, his energy returned, his sleep normalized, and his natural testosterone increased 250%. Most importantly, Jake's will to live returned. He texted me 6 months later, "Doctor, I got my job back, I'm dating again, and for the first time in years, I'm excited about the future. You saved my life with vitamins that cost less than my daily Starbucks habit." Jake's case taught me that what we call treatment-resistant depression and refractory low testosterone are often just severe nutritional deficiencies that have never been properly addressed. This brings me to the protocol that has transformed hundreds of men in my practice. I call it the Male Vitality Foundation Protocol, and it addresses the 4 most common deficiencies I see in men over 40. The foundation is vitamin D3, but it must be taken correctly to be effective. Most men take 1,000, 2,000 IU daily, which is maintenance dosing for someone who's already optimal. If you're deficient, and statistically you probably are, you need therapeutic dosing to restore levels quickly. The Endocrine Society recommends vitamin D levels between 3,100 NURML, with no toxicity risk below 150 NURML. To reach toxic levels, you would need to take 40,000 plus IU daily for months while never getting blood levels checked. Compare this safety profile to testosterone replacement therapy, which carries risks of blood clots, heart attacks, strokes, and permanent shutdown of natural hormone production. Yet doctors prescribe testosterone readily while expressing concern about vitamin D supplementation. This double standard reveals the bias toward pharmaceutical intervention over nutritional healing that permeates modern medicine. I want to share one final story that illustrates why this information is so desperately needed. 2 months ago, a 38-year-old father named Chris came to my office with his wife and teenage son. Chris had been diagnosed with early-onset hypogonadism and told he would need lifelong testosterone therapy starting immediately. The proposed treatment cost was $450 monthly with no insurance coverage. His wife was crying, "Doctor, we can't afford this treatment, but they're telling us Chris will become depressed and lose his job if he doesn't start testosterone immediately. We have college tuition to pay and a mortgage. I don't know what we're going to do." I ran my standard nutritional panel on Chris. His vitamin D level was 11 mg/ml, his B12 was low normal, and his magnesium was depleted. Chris worked night shifts as a security guard, never saw sunlight, and lived on energy drinks and fast food. I started Chris on my basic protocol and made simple lifestyle recommendations. Within 6 weeks, his testosterone had increased 160%, his energy was restored, and his mood was stable. The cost? $14 monthly for supplements. Chris's wife hugged me at his follow-up appointment. "Dr. Whitaker, you saved our family from financial ruin while giving my husband his health back. I can't believe the solution was so simple and affordable. This is why I'm sharing this information despite potential backlash from colleagues and pharmaceutical companies. Every man deserves to know that expensive hormone replacement therapy is often unnecessary when simple nutritional deficiencies are corrected. Your body is designed to produce optimal levels of testosterone naturally. When that system fails, the solution isn't always synthetic hormones. It's often just giving your body the nutrients it needs to function properly. The $3 vitamin that outperformed $500 testosterone therapy isn't just vitamin D. It's the principle that natural nutritional solutions deserve the same consideration as pharmaceutical interventions. It's the understanding that treating root causes is more effective than managing symptoms. If you're currently on testosterone replacement therapy, don't discontinue it without medical supervision. But do get comprehensive nutritional testing to identify deficiencies that might be contributing to your hormonal dysfunction. If you're considering hormone replacement therapy, demand that your doctor test vitamin D, B12, folate, magnesium, and zinc levels first. These nutrients are essential for natural testosterone production and must be optimized before considering synthetic hormones. Most importantly, remember that your health is not a profit center for pharmaceutical companies. Simple, affordable solutions often outperform expensive treatments when they address root causes instead of symptoms. Thank you for watching American Urologist. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and I'll continue sharing the truth about men's health, regardless of who it makes uncomfortable. Your vitality is worth fighting for, and the tools to restore it might be simpler than you ever imagined.